Today we're playing through Pokemon Emerald with only the Blaziken-Line. Right off the bat, we can see that Blaziken's going to be a very powerful Pokemon for a playthrough like this. 80 HP, 120 attack, 70 defense, 110 special attack, 70 special defense, and 80 speed. So Blaziken's going to be a fast and strong attacker with an emphasis on physical moves. Blaziken's move pool tells a very similar story. We get Double Kick at level 16, which is the time that we evolve, as well as probably our answer for Roxanne. Bulk Up at level 28, which is an amazing boosting move, boosting both attack and defense. Blaze Kick upon evolution at level 36, which will be our main fire stab for the run. And some other moves like Slash and Sky Uppercut, which are reliable damage, but probably not useful for a run like this. Looking at its TM learn set, we got Hidden Power Ghost, which will be useful for the Tate and Liza fight. Bulk Up again, great move. Earthquake, which will be very useful. Brick Break, which is probably the best fighting type move we have access to. Flamethrower, Fire Blast, Rock Tomb, Aerial Ace, Secret Power, Overheat, and then for HMs it gets Cut, Strength, and Rock Smash, which will probably not be very useful for the run. So the way this is going to work is I've manipulated my starter to have perfect IVs, as well as the right nature, which I've gone with Brave for this run, boosting my attack and lowering my speed. Speed isn't very important for a Gen 3 run specifically, because most of the AI trainers are extremely slow, and that attack boost will be very helpful for the run. We're going to start with a Torchic and evolve all the way through to a Blaziken during the run, as you can probably see by the footage that I'm playing right now. We are a fighting type, which is going to be very helpful, or we are a fighting type at level 16, which is going to be really good for the whole run all the way through, except maybe the Tate and Liza fight, because it is weak to Psychic. And I think the main thing holding us back is going to be the fire type, because it's weak to the first gym, as well as the last gym leader and the champion. Although I don't think those will be a huge problem, especially the 8th gym leader, because he's, kind of a pushover. Just a couple things to note before I start talking about the run. My Blaziken is specifically manipulated to be female, because there are 2 Pokemon that can use Attract in this whole run, and they are both female, that being Flannery's Torkoal, as well as Juan's Love Disc. And a second thing, I am timing this run, as you can see on the screen, and I'm just using the time as a metric to see how Pokemon perform during each individual run, and maybe I'll end up ranking them if I do enough playthroughs in the future. Also, the time is measured at real time, not game time, and I'm playing at 4 times game speed the whole run, and now we can start talking about the actual gameplay. It's not just a boulder, it's a rock. Straight out the gate, my goal is clear. If I want to beat Roxanne at all, I need to train until I get to level 16, evolve, and learn Double Kick. Thankfully, there are enough trainers before Roxanne that I can get enough experience to do so. Unfortunately, this does mean I have to do a lot of optional grinding, but thankfully I only have to fight against trainers, and they give a lot of money as well as experience, so I don't have to do any extra grinding before, let's say, Brawly. Also, a lot of the trainers that I fight during this point are either mandatory or give a ton of great experience, so that I would probably fight them anyway, so the grinding actually isn't that bad before the gym. It just takes a little longer than I might have preferred. When I hit level 15, I decided to go into Roxanne's gym and fight her trainers. This is probably a mistake because there just are hikers on the route I was training on that give similar kinds of experience, and they're going to take a little bit longer, and those hikers are pretty much mandatory anyway. So this was probably not the best of ideas, but it doesn't really matter. In the end, I hit level 16, evolve, learn Double Kick, and I'm ready to take on Roxanne. She leads with Geodude. A single Double Kick easily takes it out. The second Geodude falls to a similar fate. The Nose Pass is her ace and toughest Pokemon, but a Double Kick brings it deep into the red. Roxanne heals with a potion, but it's not enough to prevent Double Kick from taking it out. Combuskin finishes with a time of 7 minutes and 44 seconds, and is now ready to take on the Brawly split.
Oh man, there I was, riding up the Eastport side of this rip-and-kill gravy baby chunky ass wave, right? And then comes a super gnarly shark coming out from underneath. I ate him.
I decided to teach Combuskin the Rock Tomb TM from Roxanne for more coverage. This has made many people very angry, and has been widely regarded as a bad move. I then take way longer than I should have to catch my HM friends, and take the boat to Dewford Town. Perhaps in some weird testosterone-fueled confidence, or just anger over the amount of time it took to catch my HM mules, I decided to take on the leader Brawly immediately. While Peck is technically super effective, Double Kick actually does more damage to 2 of his 3 Pokemon. Machop uses Bulk Up, but that doesn't keep it out of 2-hit KO range from a Double Kick. Meditite can't do any damage if I keep attacking, but it does set up a Reflect for when Makuhita comes in. As a result of this, I'm using Ember against the Makuhita, which probably wasn't the best of ideas, but anyway, that combined with a critical hit Vital Throw will allow the Makuhita to take me out and give us our first reset. One reset isn't that big of a deal, and I think with average luck I can win, so I go right back into the fight. Speaking of average luck, I use Ember on the Machop. It burns it, activating its Guts ability, and then I then get critical hit by a Karate Chop. Thankfully, I can take it out, as well as the Meditite, and then I get a critical hit on the Makuhita, taking it down to red HP. It heals with its Citrus Berry, but it's not enough to stop another Double Kick from taking it out. Combuskin beats Brawly with a time of 13 minutes and 9 seconds. Black is the color of emptiness, I feel it in my soul cause I'm an emotional mess. I now have access to the Bulk Up TM, but I decide not to use it right away because I will get Bulk Up soon at level 28, and there's no real major battles until that happens. However, there's no realistic chance that I'm ever gonna delete Bulk Up and want it later, and I realize this a few minutes later, and I do end up teaching Combuskin the TM for Bulk Up in time for the rival battle. First up is Lombre, and if you have never had a wet paper towel thrown at your head, try fighting a Lombre, because boy, this thing does absolutely nothing. This allows me to set up 2 Bulk Ups and sweep through May's team. Even the Marshtomp cannot survive Combuskin, supported by an incredible setup move. Now I can go straight for Watson, but I decided to take a little bit of time and fight trainers around the city just to ensure an easy victory. A lot of these trainers are mandatory ones, which I would have to fight later, and they would give unbelievably little experience compared to what level I would be at that point, so it's useful just to fight them now and get them out of the way and also make Watson much easier. I also fight all the trainers in his gym and equip Combuskin with a Cherry Berry before going into the fight. I start by knocking out the Voltorb immediately so as to not risk a self-destruct. Electrike just spams Howl and Leer, and that allows me to set up to 4 Bulk Ups. After that, I'm free to take it out with a Double Kick. I get paralyzed by static, but I eat my Cherry Berry and heal it. Magneton comes out and gets killed by 1 hit from Double Kick. Manectric is its scariest Pokemon, but it can't survive a single Double Kick, and I win the fight. Combuskin beats Watson with a time of 23 minutes and 47 seconds. Right now is a long stretch of running around Hoenn and fighting evil teams, and running around Hoenn and fighting evil teams. But right after the 4th gym, I can pick up the Secret Power TM, which is going to be a great move for Pokemon that resist the fighting type. In case you weren't aware, it's a 70 base power normal type move, which has an effect that varies on the terrain, but in most battles that we're going to fight during this run, it's going to have a 30% chance to paralyze. Now I have to chase the evil teams all over the top half of the region, and that ends with a final battle against Maxie at the top of Mount Chimney. The reward for winning this battle will be a Meteorite that we can trade for a Return TM, which is going to be the best consistent normal type move in the run. The admin Tabitha is easier at this point, but you know, remember him for the future, and then we can go into the Maxi fight. He leads with Mightyena, which sucks because our attack is going to be lowered for the fight, but a Double Kick still takes it out. Next is the Camerupt. Double Kick does half, hits with Tackle, and another Double Kick takes it down. After that, the fight is basically won because all he has is a Zubat, which goes down to a single Secret Power. As you might have noticed by now, I'm nearing level 36, which is my evolution level, so I find an optional trainer in Flannery's gym, and then Combuskin evolves into Blaziken, learning Blaze Kick and getting a huge stat boost for the future. Next up is the Flannery fight. She leads with Numble, which is the perfect opportunity to set up. The only risk here is possibly a magnitude 10 critical hit, but that doesn't happen, so I set up enough bulk ups to start sweeping. The first 3 Pokemon go down without any issue, but I am worried about the Torkoal, who has extremely high defense, so a double kick might not take it out. However, a +4 double kick takes it out in 1 hit, and I win the fight. Blaziken clocks in with a time of 34 minutes and 53 seconds. As of now, it's just a beeline straight to Norman's gym, so we can immediately jump into that fight. And then immediately jump out of that fight because we are a fully evolved fighting type with bulk up. 3748. You know, I'm not actually sure what to put for this transition, so I'm just gonna leave you with this. Now we're journeying through the north end of Hoenn and approach the Weather Institute, which is being overrun by Team Aqua goons. You'd expect an evil team that has a lot to do with water would have some better water types, but they seem to just have a couple weak dark types, which are very easily dealt with. Right after that is another rival fight, where she really should have a Pokemon that's better than Lombre, that doesn't just let me set up bulk ups and sweep through her entire team. But I guess you do you. I guess it's more for the journey is more fun than a destination, I guess. The trainers in Winona's gym aren't any issue, so next up we can fight the gym leader. Skarmory hits me with a sand attack, and then I proceed to miss 4 100% accurate secret powers in a row against the Pelipper, get confused, hit myself several times, and then miss the Altaria, and get knocked out by an Aerial Ace. Which of course leads to our second reset, in a row mind you, caused by my terrible luck. This time, I instead decided to knock out the Skarmory and not risk any of that, and just set up on the Tropius instead. And that goes well enough for me to win the fight. Blaziken beats Winona with a time of 48 minutes and 16 seconds, and she has now earned my undying hatred. Oh man, I forgot about this part. I have to fight Team Aqua at the top of Mount Pyre and get into this seemingly menial double battle. You can see that I didn't think much of it because I'm at half health. I get hit by a Swagger, then hit myself, hit myself again, and just wait, hit myself again, knocking myself out, and I can't reset. I have to black out and go all the way back to Fortree City because I did not save before this fight. So far, only fighting types have beat me this run, and 2 of those were Blaziken. If I hit myself in confusion one more time, I'm going to start destroying the middle class. Now you have to chase the evil teams all around the region, and that starts with the Magma Hideout. Oh my god, I forgot Strength! Alright, now that little conundrum is dealt with. You know how I said to remember Tabitha for later in the run? I'm kidding. He sucks. You actually thought that was gonna mean something. Oh my god. Listen, man, this is why no one likes you. God, I'm just going insane in the back half of this video. Anyway, Maxie is up next, and it is kind of scary because he does have Intimidate, but the Camerupt can't deal any meaningful damage to me because Maxie gets locked into a healing loop after just uses Amnesia. But the Crobat actually is pretty scary, but I believe Slash lands a critical hit, so that doesn't end up being a problem. Then I beat up Matt in the Aqua Hideout, and then I go grab the Hidden Power TM, which is going to be really important for the next fight because it is a 70 base power Ghost type move, which is going to be super effective against all of Tate and Liza's Psychic types. What makes it even better is that all Ghost type moves are physical in Generation 3, so this benefits from my higher attacking stat. Now, let's talk about the Tate and Liza fight, and I think you would be completely in the right to question the legitimacy of this battle, because I left all my HM users in my party, so they only ever attacked into them. So, Blaziken actually never takes a hit during the battle, and it can just one-shot all of its Pokemon. I don't know if this would be valid. I'll probably have to do another Blaziken run at some point in the future, but, you know, not right now. Just figured full transparency, I'll let you know that this is a pretty shady fight. And, you know, never mind, Tate and Liza deserve to die. Ah, Goo Lagoon, a stinky mud puddle for you and me, but for the inhabitants of Bikini Bottom, it is a beautiful stinky mud puddle. Now, Team Magma is invading a space station, presumably to crash a rocket ship into a volcano? I'm not sure, but we gotta fight them anyway. Luckily, Steven Stone is on our side, and the fight really isn't that much of a problem. The only threat is Camerupt, which one of them does have a ground type move, but it doesn't get to use it because it just spams Amnesia. Now I can pick up some really great moves that'll be super useful for the rest of the playthrough. Those being Brick Break from a guy in Sootopolis City, Return from the guy in Falarbor Town, and Earthquake before fighting Archie, the Team Aqua boss. Speaking of Archie, he's not that big of a deal thanks to our newly acquired Brick Break and Return. The Crobat does have Wing Attack, but doesn't do that much damage, and I'd very safely survive Rough Skin from the Sharpedo. Now, two monsters with the power to end the world are fighting in a major metropolitan area, but that's not that big of a deal, so we're gonna move onwards to the next gym leader. That is, of course, after definitely succeeding at the puzzles made for children. The most effective play here is to use Bulk Up until I get confused, then eat my Persimberry and start sweeping. This happens at +3, so I'm able to freely one-shot all of his Pokemon. Blaziken beats Huan with a time of 1 hour, 24 minutes, and 22 seconds. And now, it's the final stretch till the Elite Four. That is, of course, after crushing a sickly child's hopes and dreams. Sydney is the first and easiest Elite Four member. The Mightyena he leads with has Intimidate, but KFC is carrying a White Herb to cancel out the attack drop. With that, he can outspeed and one-shot all of Sydney's Pokemon with a single Brick Break. Phoebe is a similar story. I Bulk Up while she uses Protect, and then use Hidden Power Ghost to one-shot all of her Pokemon. With ample setup on her pathetic Celio, Brick Break also one-shots all of Glacier's Pokemon. Drake is really scary and definitely the strongest Elite Four member. However, Shelgon misses a Rock Tomb, letting me bulk up multiple times and take out all of his Pokemon. An intimidating Salamence survives a hit, but doesn't do enough damage to deter me from knocking it out with another Return. Blaziken defeats the Elite Four with a time of 1 hour, 33 minutes, and 22 seconds, which is a great time. Now we have to fight the hardest trainer in the game, the champion, and Blaziken is weak to every single one of his Pokemon. The strategy here is simple. Deal a ton of damage to Wailord to stop it from using super effective Water Spouts, and use Bulk Up enough times that I can take out his entire team. Every time against the Wailord, I can set up to +2 pretty easily, which can knock out all of his Pokemon. There's one issue though. I'm not gonna stay at +2. The Gyarados has the ability to Intimidate, and while he does send it out last, I don't think there's ever a chance that I can one-shot it at level 65. Because of this, it knocks me out on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 15th attempt. Now, that's an exaggeration, but there's just so much that can go wrong with this strategy. I could get crit by the Wailord, crit the Wailord and knock it out, not give me enough setup, or get outsped and killed by Swift Swim Ludicolo. Now, this means I need to get 3 Bulk Ups to defeat Wallace, and that's exactly what I try to go for on this attempt. Now, it looks completely hopeless because I'm at 60 HP and I'm gonna get knocked out by a Water Spout. But then, I survive on 1 HP. There's no Rain Dance, so Ludicolo doesn't kill me. I outspeed and one-shot every single one of Wallace's Pokemon, including the Gyarados, defeating Wallace and finishing the run. Blaziken defeats Wallace with a time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 1 second, an incredible time, especially for my first ever solo challenge. Now, I know it is standard to go for Steven in most solo challenges, but this is my way of doing it. I find this more fun than doing post-game fights. I find it's a much more epic conclusion, and honestly, I'm not good enough. Other solo runners are completely valid in fighting Steven. I just like to end my runs when the credits roll. Obviously, this is subject to change, and maybe I'll switch to doing it in the future. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. I actually had quite a bit of fun making this, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, you're awesome. Thank you. Like and subscribe, leave a comment, and share this video with your friends. I'll see you later.